What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, I'm gonna be doing the top 6 best festival characters in 2022 that released, and we're gonna be ranking them from best to worst in both PVE and PvP. So let's hop into the video. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure you subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to 35,000 subscribers. Guys, if you have not hit the subscribe button already, definitely make sure to hit it. We have 55% of you guys just watching the videos but are not subscribed. Definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button. And with that out of the way, let's hop in and go over the top 6 best festivals for both the PvE and PvP side of things from 2022. Alright guys, so we're going to be doing the PvE tier list first, and then we'll be doing the PvP tier list in the same video all together, so you guys will be able to see it. So let's hop in and do the PvE tier list first, starting with the number 6 character on the PvE side of things is going to be Merlin here. Unfortunately, Merlin in PvE I don't really think has much value. I don't like the only thing we can give Merlin, I have her kit pulled up as well. The only thing we can really give Merlin, I think, is going to be in gold farming. Other than that, I really don't see much use for her in PvE. You know, she doesn't really have much value, and you know, not really a character I'd recommend to build in PvE, honestly. Like, she's good, but she's not going to be like the greatest character or anything like that. I do think she is a solid character, but for PvE side of things, I don't know, man. I don't think she's going to be very high on the PvE side of things. Moving on here, we have Estarossa. Estarossa in PvE is very good. But the problem is in PvE is that once his darknesses are gone, he loses the increased basic stats that he gains. And you know, versus like a goddess character where, like, you know, with goddesses you're kind of just like buffing up the team and it's based on your character's buffs, not the enemy's debuffs. Estarossa's PvE teams kind of are built around applying the darkness on the enemy and then just like benefiting from the basic stats as the fight is going on. You know, I think it's still good though. And you know, Estarossa in PvE content, he's a nuker on Einik guild boss, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Einik or it's Kellic. And then I think on like the demonic beast as well, like, he's solid. Like, you know, I think he has his use in the game for sure. Unfortunately, I do think that the other characters on the list are a little bit better than Estarossa in terms of the PvE side of things, in terms of PvE content. Moving on, we have Light Elizabeth. Light Elizabeth is a very, very good PvE character, guys. You guys know Light Elizabeth, solid, man. In terms of what she's able to provide for the team, she gives Sins or Goddess allies 4% basic stats up to 6 times, which is going to be, 24% basic stat increase. Very, very solid. And then she's also going to recover max HP 30% for those characters and then increase her own all stats by 15%. So Elizabeth acts as a supportive character and also can be a DPS herself in PvE content. When you're doing things like guild boss, or if you're doing things like, you know, demonic beast, like Liz is really strong. You know, she's able to give you the heal, the basic stats, you know, the damage herself. She has a revive on her ultimate as well, which can be 2 turns at 6 out of 6, a great buff at 4 to 6, and at 6 out of 6 it's a 2-turn revive. So yeah, I mean, she's just a very strong character in PvE side of things. I mean, the only thing she lacks in PvE is the deer demonic beast battle, but that's because she's a light typing. Other than that, I can't really have any flaws for her in PvE. You know, she's very good in what she's able to do. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna give Elizabeth right there. I'm gonna give her the number 4 slot. Moving on, we have Queen Diane in the number 3 slot. Queen Diane in PvE is just such a strong character, man. Across any like PvE content that you are doing, if you have this Diane unit as a taunt character, oh, it is over, man. Because Diane, the way she works is she's gonna, when taking damage from the enemy, increase the hero's damage dealt by 10% up to 50% and combines up to 500% or 500,000 damage taken by skills and skill effects, then increases damage dealt by 20% of the accumulated amount. So she's gonna be able to deal 20% of 500k damage no matter what on her attack skills, which is super strong once you fully built this up. And in demonic beast battle, this is very easy to build up. Another thing as well, she's going to decrease allies damage taken by 40% when assuming a stance as well, which means, you know, 40% damage reduction on her already strong HP related like taunt. So yeah, like, Queen Diane is such a strong character. Higher dupe levels as well, she's going to be able to heal the team. She gets a 30% heal at 6 out of 6, which is absolutely insane. Quell is going to deal damage dealt per active stance on self, which is really, really strong too. So yeah, I mean, overall, Queen Diana in the PvE side of things is going to be a very, very strong character. We're going to have to give her the number 3 slot. A very, very good character, man. Moving on, we have Purgatory Meliodas. Purgatory Meliodas is the New Year Festival character for 2023, but he technically came out in 2022. So we're going to give him, you know, the 2022, Best Fest list here. He's going to be part of it. So yeah, Meliodas, you guys know what he does. I've seen, like, everyone knows what Meliodas does at this point. I mean, look at his passive, bro. This is a whole ass Dokkan passive, bro. Look how long this is. This is insane. So, you know, everything that Meliodas does, he has the Bonds of Purgatory, which is 20% damage dealt per Purgatory effect. He gains True Magic, which is 50% attack-related stats whenever all the Bonds of Purgatory are gone, which is either him attacking or getting hit. And then, you know, he's going to increase damage dealt by 40% when attacking a character with a stance or a debuff. And then he also has gauge reduction as well, which can actually, in some PvE content, actually help for Melly's damage. There's some things we can actually talk about with that. So yeah, I mean, Meliodas, absolutely insane. You know, like, his cards are insane too. You know, he has Frenzy, which is additional damage for every hit for HP remaining on the enemy. So every hit of remaining HP on the enemy, he's going to do more damage. 2% pierce as well, or 2 times pierce as well. Very, very strong. And then his second skill here is additional damage equal to half of the hero's pierce rate, just as another thing as well with Slash here. And this is such a strong ability. And then if we move on to his ultimate here, he's going to gain some pretty insane stuff where he's lowering crit defense and crit resistance ignoring, depending on the dupe level. So it can go up to 60% crit resistance multiplier ignoring, and then 120% crit defense ignore. So you're just going to be hitting such a stupid number regardless of who you're ulting into, right? Especially when you get to the 6 out of 6. But even lower dupes as well, like 30%, 60%, right, is still super solid. And then the multiplier itself is going up to 750% and doing a 2-turn suppressed damage, which means he has damage taken only 40% per turn. Like, it's absolutely insane. So Purgatory Melly in PvE, he's going to be the number 2 slot in my opinion, with the number 1 slot being Ultimate Escanor. Ultimate Escanor is the best unit in the game across PvP and PvP PvE and PvP. Spoiler alert for the PvP tier list. Ultimate Escanor is just absolutely insane. You guys know what he does already. We've seen him for the past month, man, in terms of what he's been able to do. Scorch damage is going to be an upgraded Flood card with death on it, basically, but AoE. Absolutely insane. When we initially saw this card, it was just so stupid, man. Scorch, such a broken ability. You know, 1.3% additional damage for every percent of remaining HP on self. Additional damage equal to 30% of final damage to all enemies in the battle. Absolutely insane. Such a stupid ability. And then on his second ability here, he has Overpower, which is 0.8% additional damage for every percent of HP missing, so reverse flood. And then he also has additional damage equal to 35% of crit damage minus 100%. So kind of like that part of the cleave card, but only 35% of it, which is really strong regardless, because he's just, when he's critting, he's just doing a lot. And then Escanor, you know, applying the Holy Flame at the start of the battle. Holy Flame is going to increase all stats by 4% for each turn up to 5 times. So after the 5 turns are done, the Holy Flame is going to disappear, so the 20% all stats disappears. But Escanor does keep this damage dealt for the 4 times after he uses 4 skills, right? He's going to keep that 60% damage dealt. So people actually forget about that, and they're like, oh, Escanor after like after the 5 turns after Holy Flame's gone, he's bad. But no, not at all. He has the 60% damage dealt using skills, you know, once he's used 4 skills in total, right? Which is just super strong in my opinion. And then when taking fatal damage, the hero's attack-related stats increase by 30%. And this coincides with his ultimate, where the higher the dupe levels on the ultimate, the more Final Flame he has, which Final Flame is his revive. Absolutely insane in PvE content. If we're talking about the content he can clear in PvE, literally all content in the game. Same with Purgatory Melly. I didn't really talk about that with him either, but it's mainly all PvE content they can both clear, right? They're just both absolutely insane characters for that PvE side of things. Now let's actually move to the PvP side of things, guys, and let's talk about the characters in the PvP list. So for the PvE side of things, or the PvP side of things, let's talk about it. Okay, so the number 6 slot is going to be Light Elizabeth. Right now in PvP, Light Elizabeth is good because of Ultimate Esnor, but I still feel like she is worse than the rest of the festivals here on this list because, you know, she only can be run on Sins and, you know, Goddess Race team. Goddess Race has kind of fallen off right now. They're not the greatest PvP team in the world. Sins is good because of Ultimate Esnor and Perg Melee, but other than that, like, you know, you're not really going to be running Light Liz in PvP. Honestly, it's probably better to just run Ultimate Esnor with, like, you know, like a Gulther rank up instead, just so he can hit harder than, you know, having the basic stat increase from Liz. So yeah, I would say, you know, Light Liz is still a very strong character, and we looked at her kit already. You guys know what she's able to do. You know, the revive's obviously absolutely insane with the, you know, the AoE card right here, super stupid, and then flood single target. And with her basic stat increase, she's good, but she's not really beating the rest of the characters on this list, unfortunately. Number 5 we have is going to be Infinity Merlin. So Merlin, you know, even though we gave her the bad side on the PvE side of things, in PvP she's solid. You know, she is really solid. She's going to be able to do, basically, she's going to be the avatar of Grand Cross. She's going to have, you know, a different elemental debuff, basically, with the rock is going to be stunned, fire is going to be additional damage equal to 50% of max HP, water is going to be attack disable, and wind is going to be minus 100% crit rate. And, you know, her passive right here, at the start of the ally's turn, randomly applies one element on the enemy without element effect. For every element effect, increase all stats of the hero by 7%. Absolutely insane. Before allies activate skills against enemies with the element for 3 turns, applies the element effect on the enemy, and then when there are 4 element effects on the enemy, remove them after skill activation and apply the element debuff for 1 turn, being any of these abilities right here, which is really, really strong. The only thing that, like, Merlin kind of lacks is that the effects are RNG, so you could just apply like minus 100% crit rate on the whole team, and that's not as crazy as like a stun or like an attack seal, or even just like the 50% of the enemy's max HP like damage. Like, you're really like it's really on the RNG side of things with Merlin. But I mean, she's super solid with Nanashi Relic backline. She's really good too, and I think, you know, in PvP she's going to be a very strong character if you have that unknown team built already. So she is a staple on that team and can be a very big you know, threat on the field. So that's going to be Infinity Merlin right there. Moving on, guys, we have Queen Diane in the number 4 slot. Queen Diane in PvP has fallen off only a little bit because of how strong Escanor is and because of how strong Estarossa is in PvP. So Estarossa is literally a type advantage counter to Diane, and when Estarossa released, he was the main character to deal with Diane teams. Because of the way Estarossa works. So obviously number 3 is going to be Estarossa. We're going to talk about him as well. But yeah, we already explained the way Diane works. She has her taunt and everything like that. Estarossa, we didn't really explain in terms of like PvP, but the moment he applies the encroach, like, no one is living a hit. Right? Diane lasts 2 turns on the fight when she's facing a demon team, because on the 2nd turn she's dead after taunting up because she's gonna get encroached. And encroach actually is all stats minus 40%, and then all the darknesses get removed after the encroach is removed, which is, you know, pretty insane. And then Estarossa obviously increasing his basic stats, applying, you know, darkness, which is damage taken plus 10% increase up to 5 times, and then just the basic stats by 5% per darkness is just super strong. And so in PvP, especially with this, you know, new Meliodas, Estarossa is just a very, very broken character, man. So that's why we talked about Diane Estarossa. Diane, unfortunately, does get screwed over by Ultimate Escanor, even Perg Melees and Estarossa. So, like, because of that, I can't really give her anything higher than 4. Estarossa, just because Demon Team is back in the meta, Estarossa has to be number 3. He's very, very strong and amplifies the next character on the list, which is Purgatory Meliodas. In PvP, Purgatory Meliodas, you guys know he's just absolutely insane. You know, we talked about it already. The damage reduction stacks for demon allies. He has True Magic, 50% attack related increase, and then also doing 40% extra damage to enemies that have a stance or debuff. Stance being Diane, debuff being literally anyone that you know what I'm saying, is literally applied with the gauge reduction from Melee, or if it's like a character on the demon team that's applying a debuff. Like, Melee is just absolutely insane. I have to give him the number 2 slot, but unfortunately for him, Ultimate Escanor is still a better character and the best character in PvP and PvE. We already talked about this, like, when I mentioned it on the PvE side of things. But Escanor is just, you know, he has to be the best unit in PvP too because of the revive. The revive is just absolutely insane. 4 revives after he dies, and if he has this card right here at a rank 3, if he naturally merges, this card right here, 0.8% additional damage for every percent of missing HP. No, like you are dying. Like I've seen so many times where Escanors come on from the backline, merge a rank 3 of this card, and then just one-shot a team. Ultimate Escanor is absolutely insane with that revive. You know, the Scorch is super good too, like the just that effect as well. Like there's so much that Ultimate Escanor has that it's like, okay man, you really can't do much. You really can't do much to kind of like counteract it, man. It's just so insane. And so, you know, because of the way he works with the, you know, Holy Flame is probably gonna last the whole fight, by the way. 5 turns is like enough for Escanor. 5 turns max and Escanor is done anyway. And then, you know, the 30% attack related, he gains 4 when he gets this for Final Flame. Absolutely insane. He still keeps the damage dealt too when he is using skills. Yeah, man, it's just a given, guys. So yeah, that is going to be the PvP and PvE tier list for the top 6 best festival units that came out in 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a good rest of your day.